Welcome to the Real Estate 401k Show. Here are your hosts, Ryan Gertis, Mike Weinstein, and Justin Frederick, helping you build a legacy of wealth through real estate. Powered by the Recon Group at West USA and the Frederick team with Fairway Mortgage. NMLS number 625918.
All right, thank you for tuning into the Real Estate 401k Show. I'm your host, Mike Weinstein, alongside Justin Frederick, and Ryan Gertis is on vacation somewhere down in Costa Rica. So I always used to joke, before I had kids, oh man, what would happen if my kids were 30 years old, living in my basement, right? You gotta get your kids out. They gotta go get out there on their own.
They gotta fly.
They gotta fly, and I actually have a house with a basement, so this is becoming real to me. So the question really is, what responsibilities do we have as parents to guide our children when it comes down to real estate? Because I'm a believer, and we're going to talk about it. I'm a believer in buying as soon as you can afford, but try not to waste money on rent. So I'm going to give you a quote, and Justin, you're going to be shocked when you find out who actually said this quote. So here's the quote: "I don't have to worry about laundry, what I'm eating for dinner, chicken cutlets, and all that is waiting for me when I get there." Now, I don't know what chicken cutlets exactly means, but it sounds delicious. It sounds delicious.
It sounds like takes a lot of time to make it too.
My mom still makes my bed. Everything is handled for me, unquote, Tommy Devito, the quarterback for the New York Football Giants. This guy is a NFL quarterback, and he's still living with mommy.
Well, he was a backup quarterback. He's 25 years old. Okay.
I don't care whether you're a backup,
He makes $440,000 a game, Mike. And he's a backup. Tell me what I got to do. Send me to the gym, put me on a diet. What do I got to do that?
Bro, the ship has sailed.
I think I could do it.
The ship has sailed.
Yeah.
So you said how much per game? $430,000?
$440,000 per game.
So in Arizona, they play 17 games now. So in Arizona, by the end of the football season, this guy could own 17 investment properties. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Especially if he's living at home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Eating chicken cutlets.
Why isn't somebody making his mom's bed for if he's living at home? The least he could do is have somebody come over and clean the house for his poor mom.
Yeah,
maybe
Tommy.
Maybe make some
take care of
food for his
mom.
mom. Make the beds.
Why aren't you having
Clean the
Popeye's chicken
bathrooms.
delivered?
He could have a gourmet chef for just a portion of one game salary, just a portion for the whole year.
Now, outside of college, which my oldest son, who's in studio with us each and every single week, he is going to Temple University in Tokyo next year. And yeah, you pay for room and board. And I think it's perfect, and I think it's great. And at some point, we'll take a look at housing in Tokyo. I don't know whether, even if I got paid $440,000 a game, whether I could afford a pad in Tokyo. But I talk to a lot of young people, and I got to get out of the house, and I got to get out from underneath mom and dad, and I'm going to go rent. There's always a time and a place to rent. If I'm a college student and I'm going out of state, okay, you need to rent. I just feel like renting for the sake of renting and getting out of mom and dad's house, I think is foolish to me, because as you know, rents, especially here in Arizona, they're through the roof. You pay $1,500 a month, let's just say, or maybe even if you split rent amongst 3 or 4 roommates, you're just pissing away money. And I think for us as parents I think we need to educate our kids. It's okay to live at home, save as much money as you can, And I'm not just saying, I don't subscribe to the theory of everybody should just go out and buy a home. You know, whether you're freshly out of college or whatever the case is, you have to be able to afford the home. I don't want someone stressed out and cash strapped and always in jeopardy of being foreclosed on. But I think it's the guidance and the lessons that we need to teach our kids about real estate and how money works.
You know, it's interesting. I was just, I met with the head baseball coach of GCC, Glendale Community College, yesterday at my office. And we were talking about home ownership and how the kids that he's coaching, they talk about how their credit cards are maxed out, and they've had no education on credit or what homes could do for them in the future and how that could build wealth. And that's something I was like, you know what? I would love to come talk to your boys about home ownership and about credit and what they need to do to prepare themselves. I know it's probably not that big of a deal to them right now, but maybe you'll hit a couple of those guys and maybe they'll change up their lifestyle to try to adjust. But I was speaking with an individual the other day, and he was free to tell me all this information, but he's 42 years old, still lives at home with his folks.
I'm just picturing Steve Carroll, you know, the 40-year-old virgin
40-year-old
here.
version, yeah. And moved out at one period of time for 2 months, decided to come back home because it was cheaper, it was easier. Mom made him food. Mom did his laundry, still does his laundry, all that good stuff. And he's just like, we have a good relationship at home. And I'm saying, so you haven't saved anything, you haven't put anything aside. What are you doing to your future here? How mom and dad aren't going to be there forever for you. You know, how can you take advantage? Yeah, you like living there, but why don't you take advantage of the situation? You make really good money. Why aren't we buying houses for you? And obviously that's why he was having a conversation with me. But it was more so for him to buy a house for his folks to live in with him too. Whereas we should be buying investment properties or primary residence and then jumping from home to home with him.
All right, if you are looking for information on how to buy a home, if you have a child at home and you're looking to give them a guidance or you're looking at buying your first house, all you got to do is text the word NEW to 623AZ-RECON. That's NEW to 623AZ-RECON and get a conversation going with one of our real estate wealth managers. I remember, though, I moved out. I was a junior in college, so I did the dorm life, and then I was living in LA, and then right out of college, I moved out here to Arizona. I was out here for a couple of years, and then a family business opportunity popped up, so I moved back to California for a year. And bro, I'll say this: once you move out, there's no moving back in. OMG, that was so terrible all of a sudden now, because you don't realize how obnoxious your mom and dad are.
So I was very similar. I did the dorm life, and then I came back in 2003. I think I lived with my folks for maybe 2 months. Maybe. And I don't think I was really there for the last month of the 2 months. And then I ended up renting. But yeah, you just develop your own style, your own ways. And to go back home where the temperature of the house is too hot or too cold, and you can't sleep, right?
And my mom's all about leftovers. I'm not about leftovers, pal.
My wife's all about leftovers, and neither am I. That's why we got chickens now. You just feed all the leftovers to the chickens. It's great.
All right, if you're looking for more information about buying a home here in the great state of Arizona, all you got to do is text the word NEW to 623AZ-RECON. That's NEW to 623AZ-RECON. All right, Justin, I want you to talk to all the mom and dads out here. We've got, our kids living at home, and they might even be seniors in high school or in high school, and they should be living at home. Or you might have the 28-year-old child that's still living at home. What advice do you give mom and dad as far as for them giving advice and guiding their children in the ways of real estate?
Well, if you have a 28-year-old living at home, I know that you love living with them. You would have kicked them out a long time ago if you didn't. But you got to do them a favor. You got to get them prepared for their future, for their retirement. If they're living at home with you, maybe you collect rent and you save that on the side for them in order to give them a gift to purchase their own home eventually, whether that be next year or 10 years down the road. But you got to get them prepared to have that retirement. And as you know, if you're a homeowner, you know that you've seen the values of those homes rise dramatically. So you want to make sure that they get that same advantage with that equity that you have, that they could do whatever they want with that, whether that's fixing up their home, paying off some debts, or
not getting into debt,
or maybe they're going to have children and they want to send them off to college. What a great way to do it with the equity in your home if you need it. There's all kinds of advantages to being a homeowner. Not only with keeping that set monthly payment and not seeing rents rise as time goes by, but also taking advantages of markets that just keep going up. You can't build more land, so the values of these homes just keep going up. But you also got to keep their credit in check. You have to make sure that they have credit cards, that they're doing something to be productive for themselves, credit wise.
I think it's a really, really good point, because we have we always joke. You always hear before you have kids, there's no book, right? And then when you have kids and they get older, and especially when they become teenagers, you're like, there's no book for this. And we have a lot of responsibilities as parents to teach our kids, to train our kids to be good human beings, to be good citizens, and so forth. But I think for a lot of parents, we don't spend enough time talking to our kids about how money works and about real estate. And, for those of you that own homes out there and have seen the power of real estate, I think it's our obligation to have those conversations with our kids, to teach them how we've done it. And again, how real estate works, or introduce them to people who can explain to them how real estate works. And for those that have been just forever renters for whatever reason, I can't imagine that you want the same thing for your kids. Because for a lot of people, they get into that vicious cycle where they're just either they just don't understand and appreciate the value of real estate. And if you don't understand and appreciate the value of real estate, don't teach that to your kids, right? Because there's a lot of other people that have understand the value of real estate and have built wealth. But for other people, they just got into that vicious cycle, and you don't want that for your kids. Introduce them to the people, but have those conversations.
Oh yeah. And it takes time to build credit. It takes time to save money for a down payment. It takes time. So you can't just start when you're ready to make this move. You need to prepare them in advance to get the best options there are out there. We see it quite a bit where people are finally ready to buy, and they're ready to buy right now. And I think we're all, as a society, we want instant gratification. We want to be able to do something instantly, but it takes time. Just like it takes time to make a good human being, a good citizen. It takes us time. And my wife, she thought there was a book on raising children. She had it down. She knew exactly how she would raise other people's children. Yeah. She had ideas how she would raise other people's children. And I'll tell you right now, it's completely different with our family. You're absolutely right. There's not a book for it.
Well, you had mentioned about talking to the coach over there at the community college, and it's really interesting because I think college students, they are starving for it, and they want this, and they get it. Every year I get the opportunity to talk to a bunch of college students at Grand Canyon University, and we go through our whole real estate 401k program, how you buy 6 homes in 10 years using under $100,000 worth of cash. And I have a lot of incredible conversations, and I still am in contact with a lot of, college students or those that have recently graduated college, but they're saving. They get it. They want that. They're a smart group of human beings, and we have a tremendous amount of conversations with a lot of young people from around the country. And if you're just wanting us to sit down and talk to your child and just talk about real estate, no matter where they're at with their home buying journey, it's a passion of ours. Would love to give them insight into what we do and put them on the path to building wealth in real estate. We encourage you to reach out to us. All you got to do is text the word new to 623-AZ-RECON. That's new to 623-AZ-RECON.
Thank you for joining us on the Real Estate 401k Show. If you want more information on how to build wealth, click on the link or text us at 623-297-3266. That's 623-AZ-RECON.